Vážený předsedo Senátu Štechu, vážený předsedo vlády Svobodko, vážení ministři, diplomaté, dámy a pánové, jsem moc rád, že vás zde všechny vidím. Rád bych vám všem poděkoval za to, že jste se k nám připojili při oslavě 238. výročí nezávislosti Spojených států. Vyždít už 361 let předtím, než naši otci zakladatelé požadovali nezávislost, bojovali Jan Hus a Jan Žižka za českou svobodu. Spojené státy jsou relativně mladý stát. V roce 1918 se pomocí prezidenta Woodrowa Wilsona stal prezident Masaryk v čele vytvoření Československé republiky. Česká svoboda musela být poté dvakrát znovu vybojována proti dvěma nejhorším režimům století, nacistům a Sovětům. Jako Američané jsme velice hrdí na naši roli ve všech třech bitvách za českou nezávislost ve 20. století. A jsme pevně odhodláni dále hájit naše společné hodnoty proti hrozbám, kterým společně čelíme, a také společně využít všech příležitostí našeho rozvoje. A teď je čas pro angličtinu. It is incredible that this is Lindsay's and my 4th Independence Day celebration here in Prague, and my last as ambassador. How nice it is to be back in our official residence after over a year of renovations. But perhaps that is a suitable metaphor for the work our outstanding embassy team has done with all of you who are gathered here today in strengthening Czech-U.S. relations over my entire 4-year time here. Our two nations' great friendship is crystal clear in our work with you, both bilaterally and multilaterally, on the security of our two countries, of Europe, and of the world. In Afghanistan, Czech and American soldiers continue to serve side by side. As a true friend, when the United States closed its embassy in Damascus, you took over and you remain as our protecting power in Syria. On Middle East peace, you have been strong partners with the U.S., for example, by welcoming the very first economic conference in the world on the Kerry Plan to Prague earlier this year. On Ukraine, thank you, Pane Ministre, Foreign Minister Zaoralek, for your travel to Ukraine in their hour of need and for your strong statements on behalf of the government. Those strong words have been matched by Czech action, including an extension of Czech participation in NATO air policing missions, and by sending Czech officials on monitoring teams in eastern Ukraine. Pane Premiere, Mr. Prime Minister, we also thank you and the entire government for your plan to increase defense spending over the next 5 years. This commitment is essential as NATO continues to focus on European security in the face of Russian aggression. At this very moment, Russian troops continue to gather on the Ukrainian border, and Russian weapons continue to attack Ukrainian forces. These actions cannot go unanswered, which is why economic sanctions, to include Tier 3 EU sanctions, must be ready for use if Russia chooses to continue to be a part of the problem rather than a part of the solution. But, like all alliances, like all friendships, the Czech-US relationship is not only about confronting common challenges. It is also about seizing shared success. Over the last 4 years, I'm pleased to tell you, Czech-US bilateral trade has increased over 100% to over $6 billion. That is almost 4 times the average increase between US embassies and their trading partners in the rest of the EU during the same period. American companies, many of them are represented here today, like IBM, GE, and Bell Helicopter, many, many more, enjoy the business climate in the Czech Republic. I recently cut the ribbon for DuPont's opening of its global paving center here in Prague to make the roads we all drive on, all over the world, safer. Honeywell's Engineering and Test Center is working to improve vehicle efficiency here in the Czech Republic for use around the world. And we also thank Czech leaders and the Czech people for your steadfast support for the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, TTIP, the free trade agreement being negotiated between the United States and the EU that will benefit both sides of the Atlantic. Why have these successes in the areas of security and defense and commercial and economic been possible? Because of our shared values. Shared values between the Czech Republic and the United States are the reason our relationship has flourished. And they are the reason why we can cooperate so well in so many different fields. For example, I have discussed with, or worked together with, virtually everyone at this gathering on the issue of fighting corruption. All 2,000 of you, and many more besides. Thanks to Czech leadership, we have seen real measurable progress here, led by you on that issue, although much work remains in both our nations on the area of corruption. We have witnessed the same remarkable progress on LGBT issues in the past years in both of our countries. And here again, we at the Embassy have been proud to support the successful Czech-led effort. Perhaps the most work in the realm of our shared values remains in the area of Roma rights and equality, but we have tried to be good friends in doing our part to help. For example, 1 month ago, we at the Embassy worked with the Agency for Social Inclusion and others to bring together ministers, mayors, civil servants, and foreign diplomats to share their experiences to protect the rights of Roma living in the Czech Republic. The work in these 3 areas, these 3 pillars of the Czech-US relationship, security and defense, commerce and economy, and shared values, has been informed for me by my Czech-American family history, which I think all of you by now know. My mother was born in then Czechoslovakia in 1923. The same year, ground was broken on this house behind us, which we have recently reopened. Her life, like this house, mirrored the centuries. The century, with all of its highs and lows, independence and occupation, tyranny and freedom, Masaryk and Havel, the Nazis and the communists. Maminka taught me many lessons, but most of all she taught me that freedom is never free. Every generation has to fight to win it, or if they have it, to hang on to it and to secure it for others around the world. It has been an honor to work on that shared mission with all three Czech presidents of the modern Czech Republic, who I've had the privilege to know and work with, consider my friends, all three prime ministers and foreign ministers during my time here, many other government and opposition leaders and members, and all of you, inside and outside of government, who are here, whether you are in business, labor, civil society, the press, or just regular folks. Děkuji každému z vás za poctu pracovat s vámi. A ač budu žít ve kterémkoliv jiném domě, můžete se na mě vždy spolehnout, že budu společně s vámi podporovat svobodu a nezávislost. I thank each and every one of you, truly, for the privilege of working together. And whatever house I may be living in, you can always count on me to stand with you in our shared commitment to our freedom and independence. Happy Independence Day.